2 different regions representing themselves on the world stage. Let's get it started for game number 1 with Mirko and Gideon.
Thank you so much. We're already jumping into our 3rd series of the day here at the Esports World Cup X MWI. And so far, the games have been great. The compositions are starting to get a little bit more interesting. Right now, we're already seeing Vitality coming up with really good composition. Looking at team fight, great zone control, and especially those neutral objectives is where we're going to see a lot of fun.
Dude, we were expecting, some more damage maybe coming out. Maybe an Arlet early. Mid Control City! Gonna go for first blood. Flicker out already for Ray. So, exactly as expected. La La Land, though. Rui doesn't want to give it for free.
Hey, we're talking about free stuff here at Cine. The fact that she is coming in hot with, especially the sprint as well, really goes to show that she is expecting her movement to be top-notch. I'm not going to get hit by any of the big abilities. I'm going to kite everybody, and everybody's going to suffer for it. When we start looking at the emblems as well, nothing too out of the ordinary. However, a lot of wilderness blessings from both sides.
That's true. They really are just trying to play around that movement. But it comes down to the mid lane again. La La Land already using the Purify. Cine could not walk up, a bit too low. These matchups, though. The thing about Vitality is sometimes they'll be put on bad matchups, but they'll still win out anyways. And I think that's the case in the gold lane. Chell and the Claude, it shouldn't be a winning matchup against the carry.
I mean, it's doing well. At least now they can play the traditional strong side, weak side, right? We were already talking about the fact that Lapu wasn't going to get much done in the lane itself. Maybe at level 4, that's where they're going to take advantage of it. But they also need Vivian to be level 4 too. But we look at that top side once again. Again, Chell going to be the main way to be able to kind of scale later down the line. I am a little curious how this Grok is going to kind of compensate for this, right? Yes, you can cut off people's angles, but more importantly, if you were looking for something to counter-engage, I was thinking Gothod. What about you? Do you think that coming with this Grok is going to be enough, especially on neutral takes, or is this purely for later?
I think it's purely for later. They're just going to play the late game later on. I mean, maybe the mid game. They know they're going to lose out in tempo anyways after seeing the Lilia. There's no real reason for them to force out these neutral objectives, especially considering they were thinking about the Suyo. So you're already going to have to delay the skirmishes from happening. Fumieko with great zoning. Oh, even the Flicker baited out high up. Gets away in time, gets countered. Perfect match. Now it's an all-in. First blood for Fumieko. The Throne of Ruin lands on 3. Vivo able to get away just in time as La La Land pops in Crimson Beacon, and the rest of the team now corralling over Ray. It's a Lantern Flare to get Vivo low down by La La Land. Ray getting away just in time as Vivian is forced away with a perfect match.
And that's going to be 2 junglers traded out for each other and no neutral take for either side. The score is still 1-1 as Chell already put down low.
We've seen a lot of upsets today. We saw just one earlier, a Titan falling in their opening match against a newer region. Could it be the same here? Vitality, usually with a lead like that in tempo, when they're winning these lanes, when they get to the neutral objective first, it usually just ends up with them steamrolling through.
Unfortunate. Hit with the first tech pause already, but hey, I will say that Stream A so far, all the games have been going 2-0 all the way through, and these are not like, overwhelming victories. Some maybe, but most of the time, it's pretty even, and I like the ideas these women are coming up with. Great picks overall, with solid ideas. Some may say that they've got maybe more progressive ideas than some of the main events.
I concur.
You concur.
I concur.
That's all you got to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that, right?
I respect that. I respect that. But overall, I do think that right now, as we are, waiting for the games to continue, it's a good time to start talking about the mid lanes here, because Lilia has been shown up more times than I would have liked to see, and even looking over at Stream B, it seems to be the same case.
Yeah, the mid lane is just all about Juice and Eve. Even after the nerfs, dude, like, how long has Juicin been meta? 2 years? A whole 2 years.
No, it can't be 2 years at this point. Did she come out last year? Oh, she did. You're right. It is 2 years.
It's about to be 2 years of a whole, like, Juicin Prio meta. It was always first picked at M6. It was always first picked at MSC 2025. It's always first pick even now or banned, which is crazy. Even after the nerf to her range, which I thought was really going to hurt her. Eve's a good old, though. She's been meta for like 4 years. So at this point, the mid lane's getting a little bit stale. Just want to say, just a little bit stale, because it's just the same picks all over. It's either you get the Juicin, the Eve, then you have the Kimmies, or then it's finally an open mid lane.
An open mid lane? I don't think we're ever going to get to that. Mid lane's just way too important, especially in the meta now, connecting every single lane into one. All roads lead back into the mid, and so far, based on the jungle pathing that we are seeing, they will end up on the correct sides of the map if they want to contest for this. LOS have the opportunity to maybe, give up this neutral and maybe attack the top side, but it looks like after what happened on the first initiation, they want to get some revenge and get that turtle now.
Fumieko with walk-up Vivian. Perfect match onto Ray, just a bit of freeze. Ray's holding the tectonic charge. The combo is going to be massive. Tech charge! And a flicker onto Vival. That's a spatial migration landing with a Battle Requiem as well as they go for the Retribution and City, who secures it. Now with the black shoes coming out as Mikiari is able to get the kill. Vivian caught all alone. Fatal Links on 3, but there's no one to follow it up. It's just Vivian with the flicker out and the perfect match as Vitality traded Turtle for kill.
Really nicely played by Fumiko, right? Making sure to just zone out the enemy jungler. Make sure they don't come remotely close. And I think Ray also had a pretty good idea as well. However, they didn't synchronize the attack. The Throne Rune came just a little bit later and didn't get the priority targets that they were looking for. And unfortunately, they weren't able to control that space well enough. For the upcoming initiations, it's about that timing, synchronization to make sure that there are no more openings. And especially when you're playing up against Vitality, they will take advantage of those openings. And we could see that it could have been a mistake had it not been for Cine.
Every single one of those openings usually will be punished out, but so far I feel like it's Vitality leaving those openings for MIBR.LOS. They've been the one capitalizing around a lot of these mistakes from Vitality. Maybe overconfidence coming into this. Maybe, well, again, them feeling like, hey, this is home turf. We got the crowd supporting us. We can go all in, all out, even with a semi-late game composition.
That would be a bad idea if we saw them actually aggress. And that's what I want to see, right? Vitality, despite the fact that they were able to get at least one turtle, they're still technically, when we're coming down to the gold, a little bit behind, right? My guess for their main force of attack, they're just going to keep on, hey, we don't need the lanes. We don't need to affect them. We're already winning them from all across the board, right? We just need to get these neutrals, and by mid-game, this should be done.
You really got to be careful of Mikiari, though. Those Throne of Ruins have been massive, especially with a tech charge. Great steal with the Queller on the XP Crab. Now, we were already talking about this all the way from match number 1 where we saw the Suyo. It ain't that good of a pick against a lot of the magic damage that Vitality has. But so far, a level ahead of Vival, despite not even getting the neutral objective.
Probably the best scenario, especially since he's got a pretty good clear in comparison to the Guinevere. But now, they are starting to take the space, and I like seeing this because Vitality initiate.
Fatal Links, Tectonic Charge, oh, it's the all-in. Vival takes the kill now. Cine, no black shoes, able to cut away with a sprint already as they go all in again. Those Raging Slashes, taking Pandinia down. The Blazing Duet onto La La Land under turret. Now that's the Vitality we were expecting as Vivian stays alive with a flicker out of the tier 1 in the mid lane, and Vival will snatch that purple buff away. If I were Leo, I would say that's Grand Theft Purple.
That's class. That is real class coming out from Vitality. Again, great initiation, but most importantly, the fact they understood what needed to be done. We're not only going to raid, but most importantly, we're going to put the enemy behind. All right, sure, you're already level 8, 1 ahead. Look now, 2-2, already 1 level ahead, and now looking to go even further with their advantage.
There were so many whiffs. While we were talking about it, you do not want to leave these openings against Vitality. Possibly the best women's MLBB team that has ever existed. I don't even need to say possibly. I think that's de facto at this point. And that's what happened. Ray lost a bit of that composure. Tectonic Charge just to react to that Fatal Links combo. And a lot of whiffs. Turret again for Vitality. The objective conversion is Vival tries to get a sneaky little spatial migration on MIBR.LOS's La La Land.
They got to take their time here, LOS. They need to play some really good defense right now because so far Vitality have been the aggressors. LOS should expect Vitality to be making those first moves. My guess, now that bot side is already destroyed, you know that they're going to head to that top side. They got to control that tri-brush area, but right now, as you can see, Vitality 1 step ahead. Look at the punish.
Spatial migration with the Falcon Requiem Ray. This time, no tech charge. Straight to a kill. Killing spree, Black Shoe City. Gets away in time for Mieko with, oh! Flickers in, great read from Pandinia. Raging Slashes now punished down with the Throne of Ruin as he tries to go for the trade, but it's Pandinia with a kill.
They got nothing to follow up with at this point, right? I was thinking maybe Vivian was going to come on in with just a fat Fatal Links, but they don't have enough damage just yet. Cine already focusing on that mid lane, and they open it up. A single trade, but still the goal. Wait!
So almost a kill. Baits out the Purify. And that's all you need. Now they can rotate up top. But even then, we saw, they went in, they whiffed the initiation, it's A-okay, it's instantly, what objectives can I get around the map for Fumi Echo's death, and Cine spotted it, that vision into the mid, gets to tier 1, goes back up top now, trying to get that tier 1 up top to really just force MIBR to play away from the Lord.
I love it. I love it. Not only are they looking to play tall, but they're also to go wide, right? Finding as many openings as possible. And LOS, the defense is good when it's against the tall, but against the wide, they have to be a little bit more aware. Now with Lord already in play, you can see that LOS is going in a sweeping motion from mid to clear up as much area as possible from Vitality as they are trading cooldowns against each other.
Vitality first onto the neutral objective. The story of the game so far, 2 turtles. We didn't get to see 3. It was such a delayed turtle 1 that we only get to see 2 turtles this game, and they're blitzing it. No response from a MIBR.LOS. I think at this point they know they've lost the tempo. They're just going to play it safe and look for the defense against this Lord.
It's understandable. It's 22.5k to 25.9k with a 3.3k lead coming in from Vitality's side. They're already half of a component against MIBR.LOS. At least for Medina, she'll be able to break that tier 1 off top side. And look at the coverage coming in from Alice, from Mikari as well, to ensure she's not going to get flanked.
It's going to be traded though, however. Chell's onto the bottom lane, tier 2. Conceal from Ray. Vivian opens up with a perfect match, zones them away from this tier 2, and it'll be free. Throwing a ruin to the flinker. Onto Viv, tech charge as well. Everything thrown onto Vival. The Battle Requiem gets surrounded space migration as well. Vivian goes in for the Fatal Links. That was high up, taken low, but not down just yet. City takes her down with the Black Shoes, gets away. Vivian, a sliver of HP, taken out by Pandinia. As Fumi Echo looks to go for the tier 2 up top. And a tier 2 in the mid lane, dealt with by the Lord and City. Now it's Chell with his own onto La Land. It's all on Pandinia to clear this one out.
They're going to definitely lose their holy shielding here. They're trying to delay as much as they can, stagger these waves. Losing mid inhibitor isn't the worst, but they want to protect those sides to ensure that the next Lord is actually contestable. For now, the second Lord empowered minions are going to come in, and Vitality, they could try and force something here.
I think it's just going to be the base turret and mid. That should be it. They can look for more, but also Vivian doesn't have the Fatal Links, is not in position. We get a quick check on the equipment again.
Real nice here from Vitality's side. Now, Winter Crown already complete, as well as the concentrated energy from Vival, now looking to get into more tankier items later down the line. Suyo, however, does not have the War Axe. So again, probably why we see once Suyo gets hit, hey, I gotta back out. And I just have to say no to the fight entirely. I can't heal back up in time to re-engage.
I honestly feel like the Sky Piercer is a big... it's honestly like it's a nerf.
It's a nerf?
A lot of times... Hey.
You would prefer 2 swords.
No, it's a... Hey, yes. But also, this is very relatable. I do really well. I go 5-0. Then I get the Sky Piercer and I start dying, you know? Not a single kill after that. And I think that's pretty relatable for a lot of Suyos out there.
The curse is real. The curse is real, whether men's or women's. Both are real tough to deal with. But at the same time, right, there's a couple of members that it makes a little bit of sense to get a Sky Piercer. For example, like Cine, right? You catch him before the Black Shoes. Even if you don't have that many stacks, it's possible.
It's just tough, though, now, right? Because you don't have the War Axe. You can't stay in the fight like you mentioned. And there's just so much going on for Vitality. They can play the long game with the damage coming in from the Lilia and the Claude. And for MIBR.LOS, it really comes down to that cycle of skill. They have consistent damage, but not enough to deal with Vitality's consistent DPS coming at you. And look at the setup. Just crisp clean by Vitality, as we just expected from them. Bottom lane slow push. They don't give MIBR.LOS a chance to deal with it up until the Lord spawns. 10 seconds, they are utilizing Expanding Rivers, taking control of the entire map. Chell, not even willing to give up on those stacks. She wants to keep it at 5 all around so that she can go for this. That's an all into the back. Vivian walking up as well. Ruin. Oh, they go for the damage, but Pandinia is already down. Now the Blazing Duet by Chell. Spatial migration combo. City's putting the glooms down. At 12 minutes, you'd usually see Lord 2, but Vitality want to go to game 2 with a lead here. Only a count of minute, and they'll brute force their way into match point.